How we doing today, man? A good way to end the week. We didn't have a big win, but there's a lot to talk about. We had a small win and we had a small loss, or I wouldn't even really say small, really just relative. But we took a losing trade first. Not the greatest trade of all time. Some stuff to learn from. But what I'm really happy with today is the fact that I was able to let my second trade be good and be patient for a second trade. So we made $14 on the day. Again, we took a loss and a win, so this isn't as bad as it seems. And a few things that I wanted to, or that I'm going to go over, is just that I changed my rules. And no, it's not like a whole strategy change, anything like that, but something I feel a lot more comfortable with doing. And I think that the one trade a day, I've tried it so many times before, and I think one trade a day just isn't for me. I really don't think it's for me because I think it just makes it a lot harder for me to focus and take a proper setup because I'm so focused on that one trade for the day instead of just trading what I see. If I see an A+ setup without being afraid to take it because I know that if I take it and it fails, it's the only thing I can do. So I think that's also where trading you can get a lot better is when you have just the skill to know you're not going to over leverage, you're not going to just revenge trade, you're not going to take bad setups. Once you can get the confidence that you know you're going to follow your rules, you're going to take good setups, all the things that are just intangibles in trading that are just no-brainers for good traders, then you don't have to limit yourself to those types of rules where it's I lose once, I lock my account, or I lose twice, I lock my account, or stuff like that. You can just trade the chart and trade and be able to just trade well, right? So that all being said, I've changed now to where I'm only trading one micro. Why am I doing that? Well, because when I first started this account, if we go back when I was just trading one micro, I was doing a lot better. We had a winning month here, and we were just doing better. We'd take these are break-even days where this was a break-even trade. This was a day where I won a trade and lost a trade. This is a day where I won a trade, lost a trade as well, I think. This was a day where we won. I can't really remember exactly. We maybe lost 2 trades and then won, right? And this is when I was trading one micro. Obviously, it's not anything crazy, but it was green and it was consistent because I was able to just not really worry too much and just focus on what I was entering in and what I was doing. When I tried to size up, even though it was just 1 micro to 2 micros, I started having just way worse performance objectively. I think I was just stressing myself out more. It was a lot easier to lose money quicker, and I was really focused on the $200 days. One thing I've thought about doing, which might be the craziest thing any of you guys have ever heard, but my dad's calling me real quick. I called him earlier. Hold up. Bear with me. Hold up. And we'll see. This was about my last trade. I kind of messed up because I was on. I had to deal with some stuff for a trip that my friends and I are taking near my birthday in May. We're doing something. We're going on a nice little cruise. So I had to deal with stuff. That's off topic, but it's in context for what happened in our trade. So. I'm just gonna call him back in a second. I don't know what I'm gonna text. All right, sorry about that, man. But anyways, I've been thinking about something that might sound crazy, and it's maybe doing something where I can't change it right now because I have my settings locked out, but where I do a personal daily profit target and I set it at $199 and it liquidates and blocks me. Why would you do that? Well, because I need to just build my confidence. So what better way to build your confidence than to trade an account, right? That matters, but I can't get $200 days. Therefore, I can't get payouts from it. And it might sound stupid to do, and in my head it sounds crazy, but then I was kind of reverse engineering the thought, and it's like, okay, cool. I could trade one micro. I could focus on the setup. I could focus on the execution. I could focus on watching candles print. No real pressure there. Not risking much, but still have some skin in the game, so you have a little bit of motion. And then also too, you're not just going to be holding for 100-point trades because you're not trying to get $200 days. You take what you can get, right? If you get in a setup here, like let's find something, right? If I got in, let's just say this 5-minute fair value gap, and I shorted this, right? Let's say I got in there. I mean, this actually ended up being a massive trade, but you don't have to hold it that much, right? Or let's say you get in somewhere right here, right? Just for the hypothetical, and your take profit's 50 points. You don't need to hold, even though you do get it, so it's a really bad example today because you would get the 100 points. But you can just hold your targets because you're not worried about a $200 day because you can't get one, right? It'll block you out if you get close to it. So I thought about that, and I thought about that being a nice system I could input into my trading because it will basically allow me to just paper trade with an account that I can build this buffer. I can get myself out of drawdown while building confidence, because right now the most important thing for me to do is build my confidence back up, because I have concepts that I understand. I know what my model looks like. I know what my setup looks like, but I take a lot of impulsive entries. I'm trying to force stuff. I try and hold trades to make $200. I size myself bigger than I need to. All these different mistakes, I think, come from the fact that I'm just trying to make money on the account. And if I remove the ability to make money off this account and just trade the lowest leverage, then I think it will inherently change the way I trade. So I don't know if that's really a good idea or not. So let me know what you guys think about that. But that's an idea that's come across my brain where I set a daily profit target that's below 200. So I literally can't focus on the money and I literally can't get a payout until I get out of drawdown, because realistically, the $200 days don't matter at all unless I get out of drawdown, right? Even if I get all 5 $200 days, I'm still negative. I can't get a payout anyways. So until I build my account back up to $1,000, $2,000 positive, there's really no reason for me to even worry about a $200 day. So I think that's where I want to head in the future, because that's just something I thought about. That's just an idea, throwing it out there, see what you guys think about that. Because really, again, all I'm trying to do right now is build my confidence back up, because my confidence is low, but I know what I'm looking for. I know my strategy is profitable. Everyone always says, "Do you backtest? Do you do that?" I know my strategy is profitable. I have live tested for an entire year IFVGs. I know that they work. I know the stats on them, right? There's a lot of discretion. There's not just every inversion and I track how much, right? It's not like that. That's not how I'm going to trade. I'm not a mechanical trader because I don't really believe that mechanical trading works. I think there's still discretion. So I know that my model works. I know that inversions work, and I know what I'm looking for with how different fair value gaps interact, higher time frame narrative, right? I'm good with that, right? So I appreciate all the people commenting and stuff like that, but my mistakes are not coming from a place of my mistakes are all coming from a place of money. I want money, and everyone says that because it's true, right? Because it's true. I'm focused on the money. I'm focused on getting payouts. I'm focused on all that. So if I remove the money, which is removing the payouts, removing all that stuff, and just focus on executing, just focus on growing the account, I think we're gonna just do a lot better. Maybe this account we can't bring it out, but we have another one ready to go, and I'll do the same thing until that account hits $2,000. I won't even try and get $200 days. That's just thoughts. I don't know. Might be crazy, might be dumb, but let's get into the charts. Sorry for the long intro. But why were we bullish today? Or not bullish. What was our bias? My bad. What was our bias? Well, it is Friday. This is where our new week opened, right? And we had an amazing day here. This was a beautiful day. I wish I could have carried this day through the week. Really clean setup through here. Sold off. Boom. Sold off again. Higher time frame period array right here, the 4-hour, holding like a champ. Displaced again. Traded up to the 4-hour fair value gap yesterday. Sold off again. Just really bearish price action, right? So pretty bearish coming into the day. But I did want to see us resweep this NFP high. It's not the data high, but it is the high that we left from that time, right? But if we recognize something here, look what's getting respected. The 30 minutes getting respected at this point. And we had swept out all of these highs right here. We never reached this fair value gap, but we were in this 1-hour gap right here as well with an order block we didn't quite get all the way up to. And nothing really in the 4-hour. So that led me to just believe we could go lower. But again, my first trade was not very good, and we can learn from it, obviously. But this was my first entry. Or not first entry. This is my first idea, right? And what should I recognize? I went long on my first trade. I was trying to target this high here after we had displacement up, after we had this 5-minute imbalance. But we were respecting the 30 minutes still, so keep that in mind. But this was the context behind this, and there's a few mistakes on this trade that we can learn from. But the confluence here was purely, or the idea behind this trade kind of was invalidated because we already taken out these highs here. We just had one high that took out these highs, so you don't really have to resweep this. Also, we left relative equal lows, obviously not too close, but the market came down. We probably want to run these stops at some point. So I should have been paying, or I should have gave that more weight. I recognized it, right? I had marked out my chart, but I didn't really just give it enough credit. Trade-off open that you could have taken that I didn't. I don't really know if I actually would have ever liked it, but we had an SMT here. We had a move up. We hold this fair value gap here, and we get a nice inversion. I think on just speed alone, you could take this fair value gap right here. Inversion, tap back in, and it goes break even here, starts trading up. Probably take profit here and here or wherever you want. I didn't take that. It's really close into market open. Not really a trade that I typically love, but it was there. Just wanted to point that out. So market makes an ST. We go up. We run out this high right here. We don't reach back above, and then we displace lower. Hold this fair value gap, displace again. This is a 5-minute fair value gap. We then end up running back up, but very, very slow. This is where I should have started recognizing the conditions, right? Very, very slow, lethargic move up. These aren't very displacement candles. And then my entry was off also the 15-minute fair value gap that opened up. We had a 15-minute right here. So it was also confluence for bullish. And then when we got, it was really just the 5-minute when it wicked like this. That looked very bullish in my opinion. And then we had a 2-minute inversion right here. But what did I fail to recognize or fail to give weight to? Because a lot of times I recognize stuff, but then I'm just not really giving it enough importance. We also had another fair value gap here. And more importantly, we had a 3-minute that never got broken. And I don't do my best at looking at the 3-minute, but the 3-minute here just never closed. And again, like I said, it was a very lethargic move up after this displacement. We kind of had a slow time through here. We couldn't quite get through. That should have been my sign, but instead, I entered whenever we changed state of delivery right here. When it closed above, out of the 15-minute, we got a 1-minute change of state of delivery and the inversion. So it was kind of two things I like to look for, but it just didn't work out. Not the worst trade of all time. I think it was just me ignoring the higher time frame draw. Also me kind of just ignoring the speed, ignoring the 3-minute, right? That's all things that are a little bit more discretion, right? Mechanically, this is a 15-minute fair value gap, change of state delivery. We have, two highs that we could go to, generated liquidity, untapped fair value gap. Like we swept lows that, like, mechanically it doesn't look bad, but again, that's where you have to use the discretion. That's why discretionary trading is the only way that works. So what was I proud about doing? I didn't just get back into a trade. I lost $75 on this trade. I didn't get the recording of that one, but I lost $75 on this trade. And normal me, right? Because again, I didn't limit myself to one trade anymore. I just want to make sure to keep taking what I think is quality. This trade ended up not being the best quality trade. But again, I took it because of, in the moment, I thought it was good, right? And that's fine. You learn from these trades. So I lost, and instead of just FOMOing into the next setup I saw, I just really was patient. And what was I looking at in the market at this point? Well, at this point, I was wanting to see what would happen on this 5-minute. This actually turns out to be a really good trade, but one problem I was running into today is the fact that 150 risk, right? If I lose 75, I only have $75 to lose. And when these candles, these 5 minutes are moving 60 points right there, 70 points, like these are big ranges on these candles, even just these 1 minutes, right? 42 points. I can't even risk, after $75 loss, I can only risk about 37 points. So when we're moving 46 in the candle, it just really freaked me out to try and take another trade because I didn't want to take another trade and it still be valid and then just lose the rest of my balance just because I hit my daily loss. So I had to just really be careful. So I had to be really picky. So I didn't get to quite enter what I wanted. There's a few things I wanted to enter on. One was this inversion here on the 2-minute. I wanted to get in when this would finally break. And but again, I couldn't really have a stop loss where I would feel comfortable because putting my stop at the top of the inversion would have been 40 points. I could only risk 37, so I barely not got stopped out here. But if we was set a limit, we could have been fine. We could have been fine if we set a limit, but sometimes price runs without you. So I just kind of let this one go. I also wanted to take this 5-minute inverse, but again, I didn't really feel comfortable because I couldn't really put my stop at this candle high without risking too much. So we end up displacing again. We made a 5-minute fair value gap here, which ends up becoming a balanced price range here, through here. And we end up trading back up to this. And at this point, this is when I have my eyes on the 5-minute. And I was really wanting to see lower because we had this low here. With these lows, we ended up running through the 15-minute at this point, right here. I don't know if that happened right here or not. Looks like it does. And at this point, I'm really bearish, right? Because we failed to go up higher, we inversed all this, and we have these lows beneath us, and we've just been really bearish overall this whole week. So we trade up into this. This is also a very bearish wick right here. This is a very, very bearish wick. So this gave me confluence, but again, these are big, like that's 19-point wick. Like I can only risk 37, right? So I don't really ever love just entering off a tap on the fair value gap because we could just run through. So, but this wick is something that I've gained through experience, knowing that this is a very, in a PD array, this is a very important wick. This is a really decisive wick. That means price is probably trying to go in that direction. Not all the time, it's not black and white, but this is, again, a lot of trading, just discretion, experience, stuff like that. So I dropped down, and there was no 1-minute fair value gap, so I saw this 30-second, but I didn't take it. Why did I not take it? Well, because if I took it there, I could only have a 37-point stop loss, and I would be done for the day. And I really did want to see us reach into this 30-second imbalance, and I would have shorted it just so I could get a better entry, right? Because if I get in here instead, my 37 points is at the high and at the top of the fair value gap, which should be protected, hopefully, but it could maybe even turtle soup. I was trying to get a better fill so I could have a little bit more breathing room, and it never gave it to me. And then I was going to take this change of state delivery on the 30-second and go break even at this low or this low. It really depended. But we didn't close it here. And then when we did finally close and make the change in state, again, I didn't feel comfortable because I couldn't even really give a proper stop loss because of how far away it was. So I had a limit order waiting for it to get in here. And then I was waiting for this fair value gap to get tapped. And price just never did that. So we had a really good understanding of what we wanted. I also was then going to just enter off of an inversion here if it closed around here because we could go break even here and we could target 40, 50 points. But we closed really bearish, and also the new 30-minute candle is opening, so sometimes you get a manipulation leg off the higher time frame candle opens. So again, a lot of ifs, this, that, whatever, and a lot of it comes down with just not being able to size the way I need to, which is fine. But that's why I didn't get anything on this move. I was watching the bearish move. I was trying to find something to get in, and I just couldn't find anything that I was able to risk. I liked a lot of the stuff, and everything ended up working. That's something that I always try and remember whenever I go through a bad period, is that when I watch the charts, I have, like, this is what I mean by I have a good understanding of price. I can read price well. I can understand the stuff that's going on, but it just gets very technical to enter trades, right? That's the hard part. Anyone can look at the confluence and say, oh, this 5 minutes holding would probably go lower, but where is that probably and where is that entry, right? So I was watching this move the whole way down, and I couldn't get in. We displaced through. We create this fair value gap here. Something that I've learned a lot from Johnny. It's Johnny. You guys should definitely watch his stuff. I learned a lot from him. He used to be in Justin's Discord, which is the Discord I used to be in. The fair value gap that broke the low, right? We have these swing lows, and we had these swing lows from yesterday. The fair value gap that breaks the low, I'm not sure why it's there, but the fair value gaps that break the low are, if it's going to continue lower, they're very important ones, right? So we had a 5 minute, and I'm not sure why the 5 minutes started messing up here. It started tweaking. Like, I don't know what happened here because it's just not there on TradingView, but so these fair value gaps are really important. Why? Because it's the one that broke the low. I don't know why, but I started looking for it because I've heard Johnny talk about it, and it really does make a difference. So at this point, we're getting a lot of chop, but we were really respecting these gaps here. It was a 3-minute gap. It was a 5-minute gap. We never got into this 15-minute, which kind of scared me a little bit, but it's cool. And then, right, we were just respecting every gap. So what was I then looking for? I was looking for a change of state delivery, which we get right here. And then I was looking for an inversion. So this was going to be my inverse fair value gap right here. And it was really choppy. But I like that we had already rebalanced a few times, still holding this gap here. And then we ended up, did we get a, see, that's just so junky looking. Yeah, I'll just go on the woman then. So we end up getting this inversion. And this isn't directly the best possible setup ever, but I really liked the displacement through right here, get all these wicks and then finally close below. I risked the 37 points, so I was risking the rest of my balance for the day. Not because I was just, whatever, over leveraged or over risking, but because that's really the tightest stop loss I'm comfortable with on this trade. I set my target for this low, but we didn't end up getting that, unfortunately. That's one of the other mistakes I made today. And let me pull up this video right here for us. Can't do that. All right. All right. So at this point, I was on the phone with my mom because I had to get credit card information because I had to book the trip. And one of my friends, the reason why I was so urgent is because my friend is going to work. He's the one booking all the stuff, dealing with all the stuff, right? So kind of was hectic, right? It was kind of a hectic trade because of all this. And that's no excuse, right? But my setup presented itself, and I wanted to make sure to get in. So that was the trade I took. I was going to go break even at this low. You'll see how I end up managing this. I think I did perfect how I managed it, but not with how I went break even. Gosh, I hate when that happens. So we end up going break even when that hits there, but then it felt a little bit quick. I was like, you know what? I really want to just let this trade play out. I really like the way it's looking. I really like every confluence behind it. So I was like, cool, let's just let this thing play out. And we end up getting in, break even there. And then I noticed the fair value gap. So I was like, cool, I'm going to let this fair value gap get traded to and then start displacing. As soon as we flipped very quick like that, I was more than happy to go break even. Why? Because we hit this liquidity pool. We also rebalanced to this fair value gap and started displacing lower, re-hit this level. So retested the entry, retested everything. That's always a good sign for break even, right? Because a lot of times you get break even on the first candle, it comes back up. So after you get this rebalance, if price is really efficient, it's just going to leave without you. So trade was doing good. And again, I was on the phone at this point, having to deal with stuff. I was trying to manage it. I was trying to let it play out. And then I was like, cool, I'm just going to leave it on this order block at this high because I don't really want to see this trade all the way back up anyways. Cut down some of my loss. I was down $73. Cut down some of my loss if it comes back up, right? Cool. Not just break even. And then I should have just left my take profit here. But again, I was on the phone, and that's one thing I struggle with a lot anyways. But I'm holding. And this trade looked really good. The price delivered good. It was a dream trade, right? I ended up moving my stop loss or my take profit at this body low because sometimes I feel like you can get equal lows. It can shoot back up. But I end up just taking profit when we wicked up to cover my loss pretty much for the day. Is why if I didn't lose already today, I probably would have held my trade to the low. But I closed the trade. I was on the phone. I had to be quick because I had to call my friend back to get the credit card number because I didn't have my wallet on me. It's in my car, and I share a car with my family. Blah blah blah. Right? Who cares? It's not an excuse, but it's not an excuse for doing the wrong thing. Like I made a mistake, but that's what was happening in the moment. But I was happy regardless. I'm still happy with the trade. What ends up happening? Well, obviously, we end up selling through. I'm going to lock my account today now. Good discipline, right? I was going to see if we had anything else, but with this continued sell-off on a Friday, I'm at this time of day, no more trades, right? So I could have very easily just held to here. We got a little bit of a lower entry, so we got like right there. And we could have held there. We could have made more. We could have made a lot more, right? But the trade would have ended up just hitting this area here and then trading up for a few candles and then running through and getting nice displacement, holding the fair value gap that broke the low right here. We hold this fair value gap, run lower, right? Simple stuff. So that's just kind of the story. The story of my trading, right, is that whenever I win smaller, right? But again, I'm really just focused on um, building my confidence and executing as well as I can, right? Everything's gonna come with time. I need to just forget about making money, forget about anything like that because it doesn't matter. I just need to keep getting better, keep getting more patient, keep taking more clear setups because it's actually crazy how simple trading is when you just wait for a clear setup. Just like yesterday, some of you guys might have seen me on Twitter. I responded to one of Dodgy's posts, and yesterday was a perfect example where if I would have just had the patience, where was yesterday, March 5th? If I would have just had the patience to just sit and wait, what was the only clear inversion fair value gap yesterday? Right? Could argue maybe this one. You could say this was a fair value gap, but this one should be break even really. Whenever you run lower, you shouldn't really keep coming up. But whatever, break even or not, cool. Where else do you get? Okay, nothing here, nothing to do here, right? Nothing to do here. Cool, nothing to do here. Sweeps this high. We're in a 4-hour fair value gap. We swept the highs. We displaced higher. Boom, cool. First entry. I literally talked about this at the end of my video yesterday because I saw it live. I saw it when this candle happened, but I saw it right here. I'm like, this is the setup, right? This is the setup I need to be taking. It's obvious. It's simple. Trade it down to the 15-minute fair value gap, right? Trades to the 15-minute. Cool. That's your take profit. Comes back up, right? We put in an SMT here. We put in an SMT with ES. We displace through here. Trade down. Come back up. Trade through. Another inversion, right? It's so simple whenever you wait for the clear setups, and they just work really well. It sounds crazy, right? Wow, if you just wait for your setup. So it's so weird. It's such a weird mental battle that you can ever even take bad setups, right? It really doesn't even, it blows my mind that's even a thing. But that's, again, why I'm just trying to build my confidence back up, get consistent again. I don't care about my account, getting payouts. I don't care about any of that. I'm just trying to trade better, right? That's all I can do. I don't need to worry about getting a freaking new whatever, buying a house, retiring my family, all this stuff. That's just not trading. It's just not trading. It's just not even life. It's not what I was put on this earth to worry about. I was put on the earth to maybe motivate people, man. A lot of you guys say that I motivate you, and I appreciate you guys reaching out because yesterday, the day before, even today, it's like I wish I would win some more money, but every single day is more so for me is just, maybe, money isn't it, man. I'm a greedy, I'm a greedy person. I'm a flawed person. I want money, but, I don't think that money is something that we should be wanting or putting on a pedestal. And I put money on a pedestal, and I need to learn how to not. Because, yes, it's nice. We all do trading to make money. But, maybe my purpose is I found trading because, yeah, it'll make me some money. But hopefully I motivate some of you guys to keep going because, maybe there's a lot of people. So I know a lot of people might think I'm corny or lame or whatever for getting emotional in my videos and stuff, but there's a lot of people that probably feel the same way that are going through some stuff, trading, not trading anything, man. And so the people that reach out and say that I motivate them or to not quit or whatever, that they went through something similar and came out better, and I really appreciate that. One, to help motivate me, but it also gives me a reason. It gives me a more of a why than just get rich, right? It doesn't make me money, right? Just because I motivate you doesn't make me money. But at least I'm contributing something to the world in a positive manner. Maybe I can inspire, and that's all I ever want. Honestly, my biggest dream, my dream job, or not even job. That's why, I never had a dream job because the stuff I want to do. I wanted to be a soccer player, first of all. That would have been my dream job, but that's not even a job. Trading's a dream job, but my dream job, and why I don't like calling it a job, is because I would love to be able to do stuff. I would love to do my dreams for free, right? If you get money from it, cool. But I always want to be. I always see myself in the future as someone that will be able to motivate other people, and that's always been a passion of mine. So I can kind of do it in a small way right now, which is cool, right? Whenever I'm actually making money, I'm going to be able to motivate more people because, I'll actually have some results instead of just hope and dreams, right? So that's my biggest goal. It gives me a reason. I'm really appreciative for all you guys that subscribe and watch these videos. And today's a lot better, man. It just feels a lot better to come through the day. And look, we didn't even win. We took a loss and win, but we did well. We followed our rules. We stayed disciplined. We didn't force anything. We didn't FOMO. We didn't over leverage. We didn't revenge trade. We stuck to our plan. We took a bad trade, but we learned from it, and then and we move on. We exited the trade early, but we learned from it, right? And it's so nice because it reminds me that I'm not perfect yet, right? So I don't need to be expecting perfect results. Making money in trading is perfect results, right? If you make money trading consistently, you're getting the best results possible. Not that you're making more than anyone else, but trading, if you can make money consistently, you're doing something right. So I have to remember that I'm not perfect yet. I make mistakes with my executions. My winners are smaller because I take profit early. I see a candle go up and I close it, or I go break even too soon, or I close a trade, or I take a bad setup, right? All of these things are holding me back, so I don't need to wonder why I'm not making money. Why is this account down? I need to just remember, hey, this account is down because I took all these bad trades. I over leveraged this day. I did this. I have so many things I can improve, right? It's not like I'm performing at my best level and still losing. I'm performing way down here when baseline's here and excelling's up here, right? And I'm performing well under. So it's really when I can flip my perspective from I'm losing, I'm doing bad, to I'm making mistakes, I can fix a mistake. And when you realize that you can fix the mistakes, you start getting more hope, you start being more positive. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I really apologize for the last two videos being super emotional, being super down. I like to motivate people because that's always my goal, is to just motivate people. That's why I make these videos, so that when I am, right now you guys unfortunately have to watch when it's not working or when I'm learning per se. But eventually, man, I promise you there's going to be days where it's just win after win after win after this, after that, the other. And then you're going to be able to see, you come back to the videos of me freaking crying, and you're going to see, oh, crap, like, this is real. This isn't just, oh my gosh, my watch. If I ever, and maybe this could be an ironic clip because maybe I don't hate it, or not hate it, but maybe I changed my mind, but maybe I'm gonna get clowned in the future if I ever am more recognizable in the space, or if I'm doing well. But if I ever get rich and move to Miami, and I post about watches and I post about my cars, oh my gosh, it's not me. That is not me. If I ever do that, bro, if I ever do that, and I'm not saying there's anything inherently wrong with that, but that's not me. That's not my goal. That's not my form of motivating people, because honestly, that stuff doesn't motivate me. What motivates me is seeing progress. What motivates me is seeing improvement. So yeah, when someone has a watch, a car, it's cool. But I just like seeing the grind, right? Why does TJR motivate me? Some people might hate him, love him. I don't care. I don't care, right? I don't know if he makes money or doesn't. I think he does, but I don't care. Why does he motivate me? Because I watched this dude. I watched this dude go from, and again, he was already profitable, but I watched him go from $1,000 days to 10K days, 50K days, 100K days, to growing businesses. And dude, we're all human, man. He might have made some mistakes with his one-on-one partnership. He might have made some mistakes with different things. He might overprice mentorships, whatever. But just seeing the progress is what motivates me. It's not because of his car or his life, but it's just seeing where he was to where he is. And that's why I'm saying, man, I want you guys to check me on myself if I ever do get money like that. And if I'm moving to these lavish places, if I'm going to Miami and I'm living in a penthouse or something like that, or like an apartment like that, and I'm flexing my Lamborghini, bro, I don't even like the way a Lamborghini looks. I don't. I think some cars are nice looking. I'm not a car guy. I'm not like big into cars, so that's definitely just not my first purchase. But if I ever buy a Lamborghini, I'm so far away from who I am right now. Not saying that I won't ever buy one because like it's kind of just like a thing, I feel like. But at the same time, I think if I had money like that, I don't even think I would care about having that thing because I feel like a Lambo is just an ego stroke that is so unnecessary. And again, if you like a Lambo, by all means, if that's your goal, bro, that's a great goal. But I'm saying I don't care about that. I don't care about that at all. I don't really care about watches. The only reason I'd even buy a watch is because they're good investments. They don't go down in value. Other than that, and also too, you need, if you're dressing up, you can look nicer. But I don't care about watches. I don't care about cars. I don't like when I tell you guys I do not care about the money. I like what am I gonna do with my money? I'm gonna travel. I'm going to go surfing different places. I'm going to go get season tickets for my favorite team. That's what I'm doing with my money. I'm not buying designer. I'm going to be wearing the same stuff. I'm just going to have more options. I'm going to be wearing the same type of clothing. I'm going to be shirtless most of the time. Like, I'm going off on a tangent here, just kind of dreaming, thinking for the future, but I know it's going to be in my future. I know it's going to be in y'all's future. If you just stay consistent, if you just keep going, it's going to be in your future too. And I'm just thinking, man, it's kind of like, you ever see the Powerball at a 200 million or something like that, and you're like, man, what would I do if I won that? What would I do if I won that, man? You're just filling out your numbers. You're like, ooh, okay. Oh, man, I see, what's it called? Oh, 19861. I'm going to use that as part of my, and you're like, man, if I win the lottery, what am I going to do? I'm going to buy a house here. I'm going to buy a house there. I'm going to give money to this person. I'm going to donate here. I'm going to go do this. Bro, you start thinking about everything, man. And like, that's how I think about my life. And I'm trying to think about my life that way is, what am I going to do when I get there? What am I going to do when I get there? And it's just sometimes that's the motivation you need for yourself when you're having a bad week, having a bad time. Is just remember, if I just keep going, it's going to work for me, just like it works for someone else. Maybe I'm trading something different strategy, or maybe or doing whatever, right? Who knows when, where, why, how, but that's the one thing that never disappears is the fact that I know I will be successful. And I think that's something that anyone that's trading knows, anyone that's doing anything entrepreneur-wise, you know you're going to be successful. Why? Because it's just impossible to fail, right? This YouTube channel, it's not like insane, right? But I made my first $1,000 on this YouTube channel, right? I've gotten 3,500 subscribers. I get views on my videos. Why? Because I kept showing up. I'm not special. Like, I just kept showing up, kept posting. And it's by no means the biggest channel on YouTube, but that's proof of concept, man. There's proof of concept everywhere. And the one thing that's always never wavered is that I know for a fact I will figure something out and I will be successful, whatever that looks like. And success isn't all money, but man, I just can't, like, I'm just trying to flip positive, man. At the end of the week, I'm trying to leave you guys with some positivity after having some negative days. But man, can a boy dream, man? And like I said, money is not for material things for me. It's for experiences. I want to bring my friends, family to do cool trips. Everyone wants that, man. That's not a special thing to think about, but it's just beautiful, and I think it's nice to talk about it before, because when you have that stuff, it's just kind of like, it's like, screw you, like, right? Like, you have millions of dollars, yeah, cool, your life's great. When you see like a millionaire that make the video, man, I'm so proud of myself, how far I've come, blah, blah. If you don't see them before and you don't see that they're real, right? You know that they had to come from something, but I feel like it doesn't do the same as if you don't. Like right now, dude, I have $1,000 in my bank account, or $1,600 in my savings. I have a good amount in crypto, way more than I have in my savings account, and I have a little bit in my checking account, right? I'm spending $500 right now on the cruise, got to buy the drink package and stuff like that. So it's going to be more, right? I don't have much money right now, but that's why it's going to be so crazy when I do, because it's just going to be nice. It's just going to be nice, man. I don't know why or how I got on that ramble, and isn't it obvious that I have no friends, that I'm talking on this thing for 40 minutes. Anyone that watches these videos, you're an absolute warrior, bro, because I don't know, like, I'm worse than ICT in terms of yapping, so this tough week, right? But what can you do about it besides come back better? I'll see you guys on Monday. Check out the news that we have coming out and stuff like that. But Monday will be a better week. Again, we're going to just stick to the one micro. We're going to stick to just trying to take good setups and good setups only. No FOMO, no revenge. and let's see what we can do, man. Just keep getting better. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys that subscribe, watch the videos, and like the videos, comment. Really helps me out. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.